Welcome to the Red Raider Spotlight. I'm Jared Johnson. I'm joined by the mighty Joe Yeager. Before we jump into who we're spotlighting this week, I want to say, of course, go to Red Raider out there. That's where I got this hat. It's where I got this polo to get your gear, to gear up for the game. Doesn't matter if you're coming here or you're on the other side of the planet. You can order, of course, online and gear up, rep the double T. And, I mean, there's no place better to get your Texas Tech apparel. Mighty Joe, this week we're spotlighting Jacoby Williams. He really, since last year, has been one of our favorites.
Yeah.
He's absolutely one of my favorite players to watch on the team. What do you like so much about him?
Well, you know, I mean, he's sort of a mighty mouse, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
You know, he's not the biggest dude on the team by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
McGuire said after this last Houston game, he's like 5'9" and maybe 180.
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, that's pretty tiny.
Right.
Running backs at this level. And yet, he plays really, really tough. I mean, at that size, you got to be pretty tough.
Right.
You know? And he runs with a heck of a lot more power and force than you would expect for a player of his size. You see somebody like that, and you tend to think, well, scat back.
Right.
You want him out on the edge, so forth and so on. You don't want to run him too much up between the tackles, but he's good between the tackles. I think he's just as good between the tackles as he is outside. So there's that aspect of him. And then, of course, we know what he's done as a receiver this year as well. So this is something that has developed a little bit, and he's making an impact in that regard as well.
I want to give some love to Cam Dickey, who seems to get better every week, who, of course, him and Jacoby make that 1-2 punch. Look, Jacoby Williams, I wish they'd run him 100 times, but you just mentioned his size.
Yeah. I
I don't want him to get beat up. You know, we need that speed, that breakaway player that he is. And Cam Dickey just keeps getting better and better in terms of as a receiver, his vision. Like at some point earlier in the season, I was like, I'm not really worried about his lack of vision, and it's improved. And he is, you know, like 215, 225, I believe. You know, so he's more built to take that heavy load. But Jacoby, man, especially out, you like him as a runner. I do too, don't get me wrong. But when he lines up as a receiver, he's like become perhaps one of their biggest threats.
Yep.
And that is quite a mouthful when you consider all the weapons Texas Tech has at this point. Every time I see him lined up, it doesn't matter if it's in the slot or out wide, I get a little excited, I'm not going to lie. Because I don't think there's many safeties and linebackers who can match up with them, especially when you're already having to deal with, okay, is Cam Dickey in the backfield or not? Is Reggie Virgil? I mean, I go down. This feels like the earlier video we did talking about the defense. Terrence Carter, Caleb Douglas, of course. I mean, on and on. And then you got to match up with Jacoby out in space. And there's just not a lot of teams. Maybe the higher echelon have that kind of depth, where they have that kind of talent and speed across the board. But I don't see anybody in the Big 12 able to match up with him when he's out there, my Joe.
Yeah, probably not. And, you know, I mean, he really tore it up early in the season as a receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, that on the opening drive against Utah, he had that big 73-yard,
yes,
which was a monster play.
It
I mean, it was so much great individual effort. Now, initially, he was wide open, but then he had to run over and around with a lot of
and passed.
Yeah, and just drag people for a while and got it all the way down to about the 10-yard line. And that was, you know, just about one of the best, well, not just about, one of the best plays Tech has made on either side of the football this season.
Yeah.
So that was the sort of classic example of what he's able to do. But, I mean, look, that scares defensive coordinators, and they start keying on that. And so you didn't see that so much against Houston. He didn't have any big chunk plays in the receiving game.
Yeah.
He had 2 catches for a minimal number of yardage.
That was Dickey that time. It was his turn.
That's right. That's right. And so, you know, but I mean, how much can you shut him down? If you want to key on him as a receiver, then that's opening up other things.
Yeah.
So you got to pick your poison there a little bit. I think that at some point soon, you're going to see him get loose again on one of those receptions and tear
like
it up.
Saturday night here at the Jones.
Could be. I mean, you start forgetting about him a little bit, and then that's when you're going to get burned because Mac Leftwich and Baron Morton aren't. You know, so this is something that you know, something to look forward to.
I look forward to seeing Jacoby play every week. I mean, I could say this team every week, but he's one of my, like we said, he's one of our favorite players. You mentioned that McGuire talked about his height and weight and everything. Squats 500 pounds. In an interview I did with him before the season, we talked about that. And you know, that may not surprise some people, I guess, or may not be a big deal to y'all, but anybody who works out, I know you like do push-ups a lot, you do like a lot of the body weight stuff. I try and lift when I can, of course, and the idea of squatting 500 pounds, if my life depended on it, is an impossibility. I think he said he benched 300 pounds too.
Yeah, right.
185-pound dude, 5'9", 5'10", 185-pound dude, benching 300 and squatting 500. Things start to make sense in terms of how tough he is, and I can't believe how often he breaks tackles, not just jukes or runs past, but when guys are hanging on him, he just shakes it off like it's nothing. It's some people, and this is overused. My son likes to say this a lot. Some people are just built different, and Jacoby Williams is built different. He has the talent of like a 4-star guy. I think he was a 3-star guy coming out of high school, but he's no 3-star.
Yeah, he's just a naturally strong guy. And I mean, when I heard those numbers, weightlifting numbers, I wasn't surprised at all because I see how physically he is on the field, how tough he runs, how he plows through all these tackles. And I said, well, that's a stout dude there, you know. And well, Joey McGuire confirmed it, you know, with the numbers. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, a mighty mouse who punches far above his weight.
Yeah, I really enjoyed our interview before the season too. If you get a chance to talk to him, do it. Really cool dude, really big smile. But again, we'll see him on display along with the rest of the Red Raiders. 6:30 Saturday here at the Jones against Kansas. That game will be televised on Fox. Don't forget to go to Red Raider Outfitter for all your gear. Mighty Joe, great stuff from you as always. Thank y'all for watching.